Welcome to 5RoundMMA. We are back and we have plenty in store for you guys. We have an interview with UFC lightweight Bobby Green and go over the UFC on Fuel TV card. Is Big Knock done? Is there a new threat in the welterweight division? We answer those questions and much more. Please welcome Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita.
Thank you very much, our producer, Guillermo Cita. Plenty of questions left, I think, after yesterday, right? UFC on Fuel delivered again, I thought.
And guess what? I got the answers.
You got the answers. Going to stamp some Cita guarantees, some proof pudding, I believe.
I got some pudding for you guys, and I got some Cita guarantees.
We'll get to the pudding later on. As for right now, we got latest news and headlines. What do you got, Gabriel?
Johnny Hendricks wants to know why the holdup with George St. Pierre.
So do I. I've been waiting for this fight since he almost knocked out Carlos Condit, and I have no idea what's the holdup. I mean, GSP's not saying anything. Johnny Hendricks is waiting.
Dana White's not saying anything.
Joe Silva's, nobody's saying anything about Johnny Hendricks.
I hear more about Rory McDonald than I hear about GSP.
Yeah. Well, I have. We were just talking about this. I have no idea what the holdup is.
Is GSP hurt?
I haven't heard anything.
Right?
Like the welterweight division is just like invisible right now. So I'm hoping.
Yeah. All I hear is the Jake Ellenberger Rory McDonald matchup.
I'm hoping there's no other argument for nobody else besides Johnny Hendricks. So if he doesn't get a title shot, it's a travesty, and the UFC is a complete joke. I think so. It has to be, right?
What?
And if he's ducking, then proof is he's ducking Johnny Hendricks, and GSP is gonna go down as a coward champion.
Yeah.
I think so.
He already ducked him 3 times?
Yeah.
So we got the next one. Glover Teixeira, broken hand halted potential Maurice Shogun Rua.
No, why Glover?
This is for him to fill in, right?
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't fill in for next week's card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, we keep waiting for him to, fight a top 10. I mean, every single matchup I hear now, it's like Glover Teixeira. I really hope it's a top 10, and it keeps elongating this phenom we're supposed to see, but we can't see it yet.
He's probably gonna end up fighting like Brandon Vera next.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that.
So last one, Brian Bowles fails UFC 160 drug test for elevated testosterone.
Technically, he failed twice. He failed in his fight, and then he failed afterwards.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if the UFC is gonna have him right out of his suspension or just cut him on the spot because he's struggling. It's not the same Brian Bowles, man.
Yeah, he's in a weird situation because he was undefeated at one point, had a lot of hype.
Former champion,
and then
tough whack with UFC.
Now he's in a losing streak, and he's losing
doping
big time, and then now with this, it's not looking so good for Brian Bowles.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully he could come back, but I don't know. I mean, the argument for him to stay in the UFC is not.
It's
strong
very
right
slim.
Now. No.
And then you guys want to talk about John Finch versus Dana White?
I think John Fish has a unanimous decision in the 3rd round.
Well, Dana White called him delusional, right?
Yeah.
For his contract and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, I think they're both a little bit delusional to say comments like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows that John Fish wasn't a very light character in the UFC. Yeah. I think any fan can see that. Yeah, he did get his title shots. Yeah, he got his money. Yeah, he got big name opponents. But you still have to see the gap in between the success he accomplished, but yet was never in the mix.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think it's like any job. Yeah. When you get cut, get fired, you have a little bit of
bitterness.
A little bit of bitterness from your boss. The boss has a little bitterness from you too. Yeah. So
I think
I'm pretty sure it's going to fizzle over. I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean anything from both parties.
Yeah, John Finch go on the World Series of Fighting and dominate there, but still get paid to fight, right? Mm-hmm. There you go. Is that it?
That's it for latest news.
All right, guys, so stick around. We have a great interview. Hopefully it'll be great. The UFC lightweight Bobby Green, so stick around. It should be awesome.
All right, everybody, don't miss a beat. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at 5RoundMMA. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com.
Honey Badger pre-workout energy drinks gives you the energy you need to do the extra rep, to get the extra set in. No shakes, no jitters, just pure energy. Find out for yourself at drinkhoneybadger.com. Drink fearless, fight fearless.
Drink fearless, fight fearless. In this corner, brought to you by Honey Badger, we have UFC lightweight Bobby Green.
Hey, Bobby, this is Alex Ramirez. I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk to us, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for having me, bro. I'm sorry I couldn't do the last time. It just seems to get so busy lately,
Oh, yeah, no, I know you got a fight coming up on UFC on Fox 8 on July 27th. I want to ask you real quick, as for a fighter, I've always been curious. When a fight is first announced, like, what's the first thing you do to start your training camp? Like, do you like gather up all the videos of your opponent and start studying them, or like do you do like a hard workout first? Like, take us through like the opening stages of your training camp.
I say everyone will be different, depending upon the opponent, depending upon the motivation behind the opponent, depending upon what I need to work for the opponent. So, like I say, everyone would have to be different.
I see. And Bobby, this is Albert. First of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of all the Obama supporters for getting Jacob Volkman out of the UFC.
Wow.
But your next opponent is Danny Castillo. Can you let us know what's like his strong points and what do you see that he'll probably try to do in the octagon?
To be honest, I don't know. I feel like I'm prepared wherever the fight goes. I feel like it'd be dumb for him to try to stand, but then I feel like it'd be even dumber to try to wrestle. So, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm ready for wherever the fight goes. That's my whole thing is be ready in any aspect. If I'm fighting on the ground or if I'm on my feet. So, I'm prepared for both aspects of the fight, and there's nothing he's going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, Bobby, this is going to be your second fight in the UFC. I know there's a lot of influx of new fighters, and like there's that theory going around of the UFC debut jitters. As someone who's actually fought in the UFC, do you think is that true, or is it different on every fighter's?
I felt like I definitely felt some jitters. My first fight I felt the jitters. I had to snap out of it second round. The first round was a little edgy, but I got through it. Now it's time to crank it up.
It's so more of like you're comfortable now. I kind of know what to expect before all the fight stuff. Now I kind of just focus on the fight as opposed to all kind of the hoopla that kind of surrounds a UFC event.
Yeah. It's such a bigger crowd, and it's more intense. So being comfortable with that and stuff. I feel like now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'm comfortable now.
And I think a person that it's like similar to you is like TJ Grant, I would say. Do you think the rise of TJ Grant was a surprise to many? And do you think he's a legitimate person to go against Ben Henderson?
I think so. He's the way he won and beat Maynard in that session. I think he's worthy of it. I still felt like Gilbert won, and they should have given Gilbert a rematch, But the way Dan Henderson fights, he leaks out so many decisions that I feel like it's going to be another decision that was with Gilbert. So with TJ, I think it's great because I think TJ can probably make him fight more, and hopefully we won't see another long, boring Dan Henderson fight.
Yeah, sticking with that concept, of your 20 victories, you finished 16 of those fights. Is that ability to finish fights is kind of like is that natural? Can you train that, or is that killer instinct just like what it is? It's an instinct.
I'd say it's a bit of instinct, a bit of both, but it's really about instinct and about heart and determination. Like. How determined are you, How determined are you? Some guys just want to get by. Some guys want to get by. They just want to get the check, get to the next fight. I don't care, if I knock the guy out. I don't care about I will beat the guy, and that's cool for them, But I have a problem. I want to finish you. I want to show that I'm better,
And then not that many people know, but you actually came out in an episode of Bully Beatdown. Can you let us know about your experience on that show and also the opportunities there is for MMA fighters to do that type of cross-media promotion?
Yeah. It was a great experience for me doing Bully Beatdown. Getting so much exposure off of that. I got so many people that hit me up. I think that's one of the great things of MMA, that it opens up this media into new things. Like, I just shot a new show, another TV show with TV One and stuff. So, like, It's just cool that stuff like that opens up,
Yeah, one more question before I let you go. You're from the Inland Empire.
Yeah.
There's almost like a hotbed of MMA in the area now with guys like yourself, Lorenz Larkin, Sadawad, and Bellator, and then Daryl Montague's basically on the cusp of UFC. Can you speak about the fight scene in the Inland Empire and like just the training and stuff like that?
Man, we got a bunch of warriors in IE, you know, like they're just killers all around. I'm so glad to see that a lot of these guys are finally getting their shine, you know. Because I've seen them all. Like, we've all been in those trenches, bust our butts, you know, and it's finally paying off. So thank God for that.
Yeah, all right, everybody, that's Bobby Green. Make sure you can catch him at UFC on Fox 8, July 27th. You can follow him on Twitter at Bobby K. Green. Before I let you go, you want to give a shout out to anybody, Bobby?
Oh, man, to my gym, PSS, you know what I mean, for life. All my boys that are helping support me. Triumph United, Castle and Crook, MMA Elite, Xbox, all the different people that help me out, Chance and Water. Am I missing anyone else? There's just so many people right now that I have my whole team and stuff. But thank everybody that helps Bobby Green and supports him. You know, thank you guys so much.
All right, Bobby Green, thank you very much.
Appreciate that, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
If you're an MMA fanatic, make sure you're wearing the proper MMA gear. The Madhouse clothing line, MMA all day. Go shop, themadhouse.com.
8 submissions in one night. Now it's time to review UFC on Field TV. Nogueira versus Werdum.
8 submissions, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at its finest, right?
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu at its finest.
Well, is there anything on the undercard you see, Albert? Any fighter that stood out?
Yeah, there's actually 2. We got Antonio Braga Neto, who is a prodigy from the Nogueira camp.
Middleweight, right?
Yeah, he's a middleweight. He won his fight, obviously, by submission. But the reason why I want to highlight him first is because the middleweight division is kind of a weird place right now with Hector Lombard leaving and Michael Bisping out. And everybody pretty much already fought each other.
Luke Rockhold. Everybody, like every contender is losing to Vitor Belfort.
So this is a good mix to put into that poll. So now we have somebody else other than Michael Bisping. These guys can call out and challenge and fight.
He's not kind of a young guy though. You think like first fight in, like you want him in the mix right away.
I think he was that good, and he showed that his jiu-jitsu was good enough to compete against these other guys. I mean, Yoshio, like let's take Okami for example.
Yeah.
Let's say he takes him down. Well, guess what, son? You just made a big mistake because you're dealing with another person in a different level of jiu-jitsu.
So
here.
you think like Okami, Costafilipu?
Even Costafilipu's on notice with this guy.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And
So who do you think?
It'll be a nice mix-up.
What do you think is the best matchup for Antonio Braga Neto?
I don't know. I mean, but like you got Tim Bosch and Mark Muniz are scheduled to fight. Luke Rockhold is still surviving that knockout. I don't know. Maybe Luke Rockhold. Maybe I don't know. Like, I mean,
I think, like I told you, whoever's free in the top 10 is perfect.
Costafilipu probably comes to mind.
Costafilipu is perfect for this guy. I told you.
Dang.
And then
Who's the other one that you need to bring?
Well, it's my boy Rafael. Well, no, he's not my boy. I take that bet. Rafael Assunção, who's in the bantamweight division. Assunção.
I'm pretty sure you're pronouncing that wrong.
I don't know. I know a little bit of Portuguese.
Your Portuguese is a little off too.
Portuguese is a little slight Italian, right?
Well, anyways, he's bantamweight, and everybody knows how the bantamweight division is right now. I mean.
Division without a champion, right?
Division without a champion. Uri Faber pretty much is clearing out the division.
You see like a parallel between the middleweight and the bantamweight? Like, none of the middleweight contenders could get past Vitor Belfort, and none of the bantamweight contenders could get past Uri Faber. It's kind of this weird thing where like, okay, well, the gatekeeper's so good.
And that's exactly why I highlight these 2 guys. And this guy will put and this guy has the experience too. Don't think like he just has like 10 fights or.
He
has the experience. He's an experienced fighter. He has shown he can win in the octagon, and he deserves to be in the mix-up now in the top 5, top 10.
Bantamweight, we'll see. I mean, definitely wide open.
Yeah, so now we have the tough finale winner, too, in Brazil, Leonardo Santos.
Who was a fill-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
He actually lost
in the semifinals,
but the guy who beat him broke his hand beating him.
Mm-hmm. So he replaced him.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be the stand-up fighter versus the ground fighter.
And the stand-up fighter ended up winning on the ground, right?
No,
or was
the ground fighter won on the ground. Yeah. He actually trained with Jose Aldo, so Jose Aldo was in there. Emotional moment for both of them. Really? So we have a new tough Brazil champion. I think it didn't help out the American fans, I think, because I don't think they really showed what they showed in the show.
Yeah.
Because one was a knockout artist, the other guy was a jiu-jitsu artist, and it was kind of late in the fight, and it wasn't a good build-up.
Yeah.
But it was what it was.
Yeah, you kind of figured that maybe I think Santos' next couple fights are going to end up still being Brazil anyways.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a while.
I think
before
both of them are
yeah.
in Brazil.
So,
Look at what's his name, Jason. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so now we have Thiago Silva. We're going to skip your boy Eric Silva, but we'll go to the co-main event. Thiago Silva defeats Rafael Cervantes in a knockout.
Either this fight was fixed or Rafael Feijão just had too much of a gap as far as.
Why do you say it was
out.
fixed?
Because he was moving so good. I mean, his head movement, the way he was going in and out. I mean, he looked awesome. I was like, wow, like this guy has really changed his game. And like Thiago Silva couldn't get a good hit off because of the movement. He was still landing hits, but not as powerful because he was keeping the movement. And then out of nowhere, either is adrenaline dump or something, but he just stood in the pocket and took a bunch of punches to the face.
It was his UFC debut, so maybe he did get too hyped up.
Yeah, maybe he had big adrenaline dump.
Earlier, Bobby Green talked about the whole UFC grand spectrum of it. So I don't know. I'm like you said, Thiago Silva won by KO, but let's see if that victory does stand up, because the last two times he won, they were both taken away because he failed drug tests. So.
Well, now that's my next question to you, Alex. Do you think he's gonna pass these drug tests?
He has to. You can't be that dumb, can you?
Seriously, you failed twice. Come on now.
He has to come in clean in this fight.
But one thing before we get out of it too, which I found interesting is, man, the Black Zillions must be very desperate because he had a beef with Rashad Evans. He had a beef with Keith Jardine, who was Rashad Evans' boy.
Yeah.
And they opened him with.
Is Keith Jardine a member of the Black Zillions?
No,
He's neither black nor Brazilian. So is he part of that camp?
It's pretty much Rashad Evans' white brother.
Okay.
So, but they still accept him, and he's in the camp.
He
and then you just remember their fight. There's a lot of beef when they fought. There's a lot of trash talking too. So
I guess
What's next for Thiago Alves?
Well, if you're reading the headlines, Bigfoot Silva called him out, who was a former training partner with him at Black Zillions. So I guess that's what the beef.
There's a little.
I don't know when they're sparring or something.
He also trains with Rafael Feijão, so
yeah. So maybe
he was looking out for his boy too.
But Bigfoot did call out Silva, and Silva, to his credit, did accept on the condition that Bigfoot drops down to 205.
Not gonna happen. Do you see Silva going up?
No, he cuts the weight to get to 265. So.
Yeah, and then,
No, but do you see Thiago Silva? Thiago Alves moving up?
No, I think he's probably.
He already said that he's staying in 205, and there is no way Bigfoot Silva can get down there.
Yeah, so I think it's just war of words.
Yeah.
Portuguese words.
Well, it looks like the only way we're gonna see this fight is in the back alleys in Brazil.
Or if you buy the new UFC video game,
yeah.
I don't know, whatever, or like a fantasy, whatever.
So we skipped this subject because Albert's really high on this guy. Albert's boy, Eric Silva.
He's one of my top three boys.
Is he the next big thing?
He is the big thing right now. Right? Other than Rory McDonald, this guy has the highest stock in UFC.
In the welterweight division.
In your opinion.
In my opinion, and in fact.
Wait, just in the division or all of UFC?
And all of UFC.
Wow.
Because look,
that's a big statement.
Yeah, people need to understand GSP and Anderson Silva have a foot out the door already. And we need to start looking at the future. And not only just the future of each division, the future super fights, the ones that we can actually plan out now. And I think there's 4, maybe 5 people in the mix as far as in the future super fights. I really hope Rory McDonald gets his act straight and moves up to 185 and gets his championship there. Eric Silva does 170. Then look at these potential super fights all close together. You got Jose Aldo, you got Benson Henderson, Eric Silva, and Rory McDonald.
So you're already putting McDonald and Silva in a class of two. Jose Aldo and Benson Henderson are proven champions, proven winners, multiple-time title defenders, and you're lumping these two guys, McDonald who can't stay healthy, and Eric Silva's coming off a loss. You're lumping them up with elite champions already.
And I can defend each one because Rory McDonald is still young. Yeah, he's been getting hurt, whatever.
He's hurt every other fight,
but he's 25. I think he's going to get that fixed. He's going to understand.
Next year will be 26, then 27.
No,
all of a sudden
he's going to understand when he needs to overtrain. I think that comes with experience as far as injuries. I mean, I think he knows how he can prevent them now. Eric Silva is tearing up this division, tearing it up.
You say tearing up, but he lost. He lost
a controversial loss to a very experienced and a very good opponent, John Fitch.
Coming into Saturday's fight, he was 2-2. One of those losses being the DQ to the back of the head. That was remembered like he still lost, but he still got the money back anyway. So
technically he's not tearing up the
3-1
division just yet because he hasn't fought anybody in the top 10.
Okay, now that's the next question. He fought John Finch. Ended up being a fight of the night. People loved the fight. John Finch won. People score
People actually like the John Finch fight.
Yeah. So there you go. Credit. He took part of the John Finch fight play. So what's next for him? Do you think like?
I hope he gets anybody but Rory McDonald. Rory
McDonald's scheduled to fight Jake Ellenberger next month in July. So it should line up perfectly for it. If Eric Silva wants to step up in competition, should he not face a winner of that fight?
I think that's a bad idea because Rory McDonald and Eric Silva, as you're saying, potential superstars. Why would you do it now?
That's exactly
the question.
That's exactly why you wouldn't do it. You would take the loser, which is going to be Jake Ellenberger, and then you match him up against him.
Well, that's a good point too.
Just look at this matchup. Joe Silva, please take out your notepad. Because look at this matchup. You got Jake Ellenberger versus Eric Silva. Both guys have knockout powers. Both guys are respectfully good in the ground.
Yeah.
Beautiful matchup right there because Rory McDonald's going to kill him. The Canadian Psycho is going to kill him.
Also, a point for Ellenberger, like he's a good check mark for people like in the top 10 because whenever he fights a welterweight in the top 10, he ends up losing. But he takes easy care of guys outside the top 10.
Yep.
So I mean, if Eric Silva can't get past Jake Ellenberger, then he has no business in the UFC welterweight.
Yeah, but it'll be horrible to match up the winner, which is going to be Rory McDonald because I want that for the future. 3 years from now, I want to see that fight.
Well, you're labeling it as a super fight, so technically both of them will be champions.
Exactly.
Big time pay-per-view stars. Wow.
Exactly.
We'll check back in 5 years and see if that.
I know 5 years
if
from
that
now.
CETA guarantee sticks up.
That's a CETA guarantee, and you will see that the proof is in the pudding.
So invest now, ladies and gentlemen.
So now let's move on to the main event. We got Fabricio Werdum defeating Antonio Big Nog Nogueira.
Not just defeating him, he submitted him.
Yeah, so
I think it was a verbal submission because I didn't see no tap. So I'm assuming it was verbal. But and I'm a big Nogueira fan.
Yeah.
And not to take away anything from Nogueira, but he's not the same Nogueira that people fell in love with. And I'm kind of split. I'm kind of split. As a fan, I want to see Nogueira still fight a couple more fights. But as a person that cares about other people, I really hope this is Nogueira's last fight. He really doesn't have it in him no more. Despite what the people say, whatever. This guy, I mean, he's done what he has to do. There is no reason for him to fight again.
Yeah, there was Kevin Ioli wrote an article about Nogueira and like how his impact now is going to be through coaching. You think that's true?
Yeah, no, 100%. Just look at his. He had 2 guys in the finale.
Yeah.
And I mean, who doesn't have that Minotauro tattoo now?
Yeah.
Everybody in Brazil has that tattoo.
It's like a brand now.
Yeah. So he has bigger and better things in his future than fighting.
Yeah. So with the submission win from Werdum, what does that statement mean to him? What does it mean next for him in the heavyweight division now that it was clear that JDS is the number 1 contender, in my opinion, to face Cain Velasquez? But it hasn't been said officially.
Yeah, well, you can tell by Verdum's his sincerity after the fight. He was very emotional in his post-fight interview. He knew it was a big deal to not only beat Big Nog, but submit him as well. So you could tell he made a big statement. He even said to
he knew,
how just the impact, especially for MMA fans who know how important Nogueira is to the sport. Not only to beat him in his own game. Nogueira is known for the ground game, and he submitted him. So
especially in his division.
Yeah, but as far as JDS, I mean, JDS knocked Werdum out of the UFC.
Yeah, he literally knocked him out.
But leading up to this fight, everybody said about Nogueira and Werdum facing the first time.
Yeah,
and that
it was a rematch though.
Yeah, and Werdum supposedly was young at this time.
Yeah,
and they were when they were promoting this fight, they were saying that this was a new Werdum. This is a more experienced Werdum. He's in his prime. Nogueira's going out of his prime. You're talking about retirement. So do you think Werdum is changed enough to face JDS or to be able to face Cain Velasquez over JDS?
I think he learned a lot from that fight from JDS because you can see when he got to Strikeforce, he tried to develop his
stand-up.
Yeah, his stand-up. And that showed with the Roy Nelson fight, I think. But as far I can't go that he knocked him out of the UFC. He can't look at the progression from when they first fought, from when JDS fought first Werdum. Who's progressed more? Who's made bigger steps? I mean, like JDS.
I think Werdum.
Yeah.
You think Werdum? I think Werdum.
Overall game, I think Werdum.
overall game because Junior Santos, all he did was make the
Knock
one
his
thing
way
he was
out.
good at. The one thing that he was good at, he just improved on that rather than improving his whole game.
Okay, so we'll take the last JDS against Mark Hunt and Werdum against Nogueira. Who was more impressive, do you guys think?
Werdum.
I say JDS. I mean,
How was JDS more impressive?
it wasn't impressive.
He was supposed to beat Mark Hunt, and it took to
him
the
3
later
rounds.
rounds to do it.
When you put it that way, yeah, it's Werdum. But I mean, you can't deny that power of JDS. I mean,
Yeah.
like this Mark Hunt.
But I
doesn't
could
go
deny
down.
it because if you put him on his heels, it ain't gonna do nothing.
Well, that's my next point.
Yeah.
Is that Cain Velasquez?
But can Werdum put him on his heels? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
No,
Yeah,
but you
Cain
can put him on
Velasquez
his
showed the
back.
game plan.
Yeah, but then you got
That's true too.
Yeah.
Well, Werdum already said he's willing to wait out and fight whoever is the winner of that fight. I think what Werdum should do is see who's going to win out of Alistair Overeem and Travis Browning, and face the winner out of that. And then that would clearly, I mean, I think that everyone's perception will change and say, yeah, he deserves another shot at JDS or a shot at the championship against Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, I think it's but I still Werdum. JDS knocked him out of the UFC, so I guess he knocked. It's like a highlight knockout.
You'll never forget that.
Yeah, I mean, because like even then, Werdum was on his way to a title shot, and we'll give this easy kid to throw in there and make it look good. And JDS, that was the start of the JDS train right there. So, but I don't know. I think a lot of questions were still left. I think, especially for the future of the heavyweight division. But as we all know, Eric Silva is the future of the welterweight division, right?
If Eric Silva was a stock in Wall Street,
Buy now,
people, because the stock is low and it's going to keep on rising. If it was a stock and you invest just your money, it'll come to you like triple. I'm telling you, dog. I'm investing in that stock right now.
I think you've been investing in that stock.
Yeah, him and Roy McDonald. I'm telling you,
Super fight in
making
the
millionaires.
Is that it for today?
Yeah, that's
Everything I think need to be said has been said. So make sure to check back next week. We'll have a preview of UFC 161, Henderson versus Evans, H-bomb versus Sugar bomb, right? I don't know.
Someone might turn diabetic.
So make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. We're also on Instagram now, so like all of our photos. We're also on Facebook, so like us there. And also make sure to check out the newly revamped FiveRoundMMA.com. Brand new, brand spanking new, all nice and polished for you. I want to thank you to all our sponsors, Honey Badger Performance Energy. Go check it out. All natural pre-workout supplement, no shakes, no
and
jitters.
they got a new flavor. They got wild berry.
Wild berry, no shakes, no jitters, just pure energy, guys. Go find out yourself at drinkhoneymadger.com. I want to thank the Madhouse clothing line, MMA all day. Go shop their great clothes at themadhouse.com. Also, big thank you to Top Rated MMA, 100% American-made MMA apparel. Make sure to check them out at Top Rated MMA. Follow them on Twitter at Top Rated MMA. And I think that's it for this week, right? You guys got some final words?
I just want to thank our executive producer, Guillermo Cita, our sound engineer, Ollie the Trolley, our technician, Big Game, and thank everybody for listening.
Thank you.